Now we know it's recommended in the Hanbali Madhhab to count adhkar with your fingers, but how is this actually done? So is it done with each individual segment of each finger, as the majority of people do, or is it done with only the tips of the fingers? Now there is nothing which we can decisively present as the relied upon position in the books of the Hanabila, but there are some statements which we could use to argue for either position. So you have the statement of Al-Hajjawi, for example, in his famous book Al-Iqna', the apparent of which would indicate that it is recommended to count with the tips of the fingers rather than each segment. And this is what Ibn Fayruz understood from this wording, as transmitted by Ibn Humayd in his Hashiyah on Sharh al-Muntaha. And in fact, Ibn Humayd himself as well, he said that this is the most apparent position. And you have the statements of Al-Khalwati and Shaykh Uthman, for example, both in their Hawashi of Al-Muntaha. They both transmit from Al-Munawi, who was a Shafi'i, he wasn't a Hanbali, but he said that the apparent is that it should be counted with the tips of the fingers rather than each segment. And on the other hand, you have the statement of a Shaykh Mansour, for example, who says in Sharh al-Muntaha that it should be counted with the uqad of the asabi', which Ibn Fayruz understood as being the individual segments, which is why Shaykh Abdullah Abu Butain, when he commented on this, he said that the apparent of the statement of Shaykh Mansour opposes the apparent of Al-Iqna'. So as you see, you have statements on either side, but Ibn Qasim kind of summarizes it nicely when he says that whether you count with the individual segments or the tips of the fingers or the fingers themselves, there is no harm in either one of these.